Rise for the singing of our national anthem.
With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
Please be seated. All right, we are a lean but efficient council this morning. Any additions to the agenda? No, seeing none, I'll take a motion to adopt the agenda. Councillor Wheeler, all in favor? That is carried, thank you. Corrections or amendments to the August 5th, 2015 regular meeting of council minutes? None? Very good. Item 4.0, adoption of the August 5th, 2015 regular meeting council minutes. Could I get a motion to adopt? Councillor Bossert, all in favor? That is carried. Item 5.0, proclamations. 5.1 is Thunder in the Valley Week, August 30th to September 6th. Thunder in the Valley Week. Whereas the first ever Thunder in the Valley in 2004 was a weekend event that featured drag races and a show and shine. And whereas with such strong community support, after the first 10 years, the Northern Thunder Classic Auto Club will be hosting the 11th annual Thunder in the Valley Club on September 4th, 5th, and 6th, 2015 at the Drayton Valley Municipal Airport. Whereas the 11th annual Thunder in the Valley will not only feature great drag race action, but also a show and shine, market, Saturday night fireworks, entertainment for kids, and live performances by Blackwater Crude and Sail with Kings. And whereas Thunder in the Valley is also about giving back to the community by generating awareness and funds for the Drayton Valley Health Services Foundation CT4DV campaign. Now, therefore, on behalf of Town Council, I, Mayor Glenn McLean, do hereby proclaim the week of August 30th, 2015 to September 6th, 2015 as Thunder in the Valley Week. And I'm told there won't be any rain. Item 5.2, World Suicide Prevention Day is September 10th, 2015. And before I read that proclamation, I understand Katie Hickman from Pembina Crisis Connection Society is here with some support. And I'd invite you to come to the podium. You had a short presentation. Morning.
September 10th, 2015, Drayton Valley Bakery, Tim Hortons, and other local businesses will be spreading the message of the Keep Him Here campaign. To know the signs, start a conversation, and reach out. And they're keeping the conversation going one cup of coffee at a time. Community members will also be able to enter draws at these participating businesses for a prize basket that includes a suicide intervention skills training course, which is over $250 value. Information about the campaign, the impact of suicide, and how to help, as well as local service providers and supports, will be on display at the Drayton Valley Municipal Library during the week of Suicide Prevention Day. Finally, I would very much like to take this opportunity to thank the mayor and the councillors for joining the conversation and recognizing September 10th as World Suicide Prevention Day in Drayton Valley. I've provided each of you with a packet of information on suicide in Alberta, as well as some PCCS creative material that we've put together over the past 25 years. Just a small part of what we do. And as well as the HCC World Suicide Prevention Day press release. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Katie. I apologize, I didn't introduce your support team. Diane Neckfork, of course, is the chair of PCCS, and Dana Sharp-McLean is here as a member of the Healthy Communities Coalition. And did either of you have anything that you wanted to add to Katie's remarks?
This is my small clarification. The Yellow Ribbon Program was delivered to junior and senior high school students for many years.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it disappeared in Alberta. The lady that was administrating it has retired.
Okay.
So there's a huge gap.
All right. Well, thank you again for your presentation, Katie. I'll proceed with the proclamation now. World Suicide Prevention Day. Whereas World Suicide Prevention Day is an initiative of the International Association for Suicide Prevention and the World Health Organization since 2003 and has taken place on September 10th each year. And whereas, according to the recently released World Health Organization report, Preventing Suicide, a Global Imperative, conservative estimates over 800,000 people die by suicide across the world each year. And whereas this year's theme for World Suicide Prevention Day is Preventing Suicide, Reaching Out and Saving Lives, which encourages us all to consider the role that offering support may play in combating suicide. Whereas the act of showing care and concern to someone who may be vulnerable to suicide can have a significant impact and may be life-saving. Whereas on September 10th, 2015, citizens of Drayton Valley are called upon to join with others around the world who are working towards the common goal of preventing suicide. Now, therefore, I, Glenn McLean, Mayor of the town of Drayton Valley, do hereby proclaim September 10th, 2015 as World Suicide Prevention Day in the town of Drayton Valley. Thank you very much, ladies. You're welcome, of course, to stay for the remainder of the council meeting. But I know you have busy lives as well. Before you go, I would be remiss if I did not wish Dana a happy anniversary. Raw sentimentality, people, right there. Okay, item 6.0, Community Spotlight is Pembina Crisis Connection Society, which I think we just covered, so very good. Item 7.0, Sergeant Chris Delisle with the July RCMP statistics. Welcome, Sergeant Delisle.
Good morning, Council.
Morning.
It's been a little while.
Yes.
Coming here to see for almost a year now.
Well, I'm glad you're able to find your way.
Yes, I'm actually library by myself. So yes, the statistics for the month of July. First off, they're very good. Just to give you, we're a little bit less busy than last year. I have to translate this due to the fact that the economy is a little bit slower. Just to give you an idea, in 2014, we responded to 684 calls for service. In July 2015, only 567. Still a good number, but it's a lot less than previous year. Prisoner count last year, we had 289 by the end of July, and 250 this year. So just to show that it's a little bit slower. If I look at the statistics for the month of January itself, when we look at category of crime against person, we're looking total of, when we look at the property crime in 2014, in July, we had 108 files compared to 67 in 2015, so significantly less. All the other numbers, again, supervised enforcement, yeah, very, very big decrease. There's nothing else really that caught my attention in terms of the numbers that need some explanations. Even the traffic violations or collision numbers. Collisions. So, oh yeah, collision, we're a little bit higher. So five, I thought we were, it seems to be we're lower, but in July last year, collision total, we had 18. This year we have 23. So a little bit more collisions. I think it's the year to date. Yes, the year to date. So we look January to July 2015. So 2014, we had 231 collision versus 186 for this year. So overall, there's less collision, so this is good. So, any questions? Those are fairly statistics. So,
You said the number of assaults is down, and it would appear it's down significantly
yes,
from a year-over-year comparison in July.
yes.
But did you also say that most of those those files that were opened are domestic assaults?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Drayton Valley is not a violent community. Like, we don't have calls where we need to go because people are fighting at, in front of the liquor store or a bar or something like that. When we have a complaint of an assault, I want to say 95% of the time it's a couple fight, unfortunately. Doesn't necessarily mean that they were like fisticuff with each other, but someone threw a cup at another one, or there was a push or something like that, and it generates an assault file. I want to say about, don't quote me on the date, but about 3 years ago, the RCMP started to be really, really strict with family violence. Came up with very strict policies where we have almost no discretion, where we have to fill out a lot of forms and dig into, like, not just investigate the surface of the situation, but dig a little bit more. And I think we're starting to slowly see the results of this, that couples are realizing that, well, if we continue to have this type of behavior, the RCMP will come to our house and someone will go to jail. And we either have to change or move on with another partner, because obviously what the behavior we have between each other is not working. So I think we're starting to slowly see this. But unfortunately, yeah, usually when we have a file, it's got to go.
So I know you don't separate them out, you don't separate domestics from other common assault, but intuitively, do you have any sense of whether the incidence of domestic assault year over year is also going down in addition to the overall number?
The violent one, yes. Unfortunately, the domestic files themselves, the definition of domestic is so broad, and what will generate a domestic file for us is very broad. So a child custody issue for us is a domestic, is considered domestic violence file. The reason for this is there's a high risk potential for violence.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean that something happened, but it falls under that category. So I have seen an increase in those files because we're now grabbing a lot more situations that now fall under domestic violence. But the violent one, the assault ones, I have seen, yes, a slow decrease of violence.
So some of the work that's happening in the community is obviously having an impact, but there's more to do. Okay. And council, any questions? Councillor Bossert.
Good morning, Chris. Thanks for coming in and providing the report for us. It's always very helpful information for us, actually. Helps us know whether what some of the initiatives we're doing have any impact in the community. Something I wanted to ask you was on social media, we are seeing a lot of people take it upon themselves to report that a vehicle has been missing or stolen from their home, from their family. And I'm wondering if this excuse me, if the public promotion on social media is helpful for the RCMP, or what your recommendations might be for someone who has had an incident where something has been removed from their property.
We have to be very careful with the social media because there's no rules, there's nobody watching it, so anybody can put anything there. So they heard their lost it. They heard the neighbor's vehicle was stolen, they go on Facebook, put right away, vehicle stolen, turns out, oh, it's a nephew that borrowed it, but they didn't know. So if we were to act on this, or if we were to kind of use that information, we could put ourselves in some situation where it would be probably not good. My first advice is, if something happens, if you want the police to do something, we need to be contacted. We are aware of those social medias, we look at them from time to time, but again, we have to be careful as to what kind of information was put on. I remember, and without naming any cases and whatnot, like situations where a file was reported to us, the incident was reported to us, and then the person decided to go on the social medias, and then it was a total different story, alleging like way more serious offenses. We have to be very careful. My suggestion, though, is if you've been a victim of a crime, we need to be contacted. If you are a friend of someone who's posting something on Facebook, Instagram, and you as a friend realize that maybe that's not the appropriate place for this, the police needs to be advised, I would suggest as a friend to tell that person to contact us.
Anything further? No? Thank you very much. You come back anytime. All right, item 8.0 is public time. This is an opportunity for members of the public to make inquiries, ask questions, make a statement. Any such? Nope. Okay. All right, we'll move on to decision items. 9.0. 9.1, Councillor Bossert, approval of extension of leave of absence for Councillor Frederickson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll try to get through this. My voice is not strong this morning. At the June 3rd, 2015 meeting of Council, a resolution 158/15 was passed unanimously as follows. Councillor Bossert moved that Council approve a leave of absence for Councillor Frederickson for a period of 8 weeks starting on June 24th, 2015, with a return on August 19th, 2015. Councillor Frederickson has advised that she is unable to attend today's council meeting. A resolution approving the extension of Councillor Frederickson's absence is recommended by legal counsel. As the next regular meeting of council is scheduled for September 16, 2015, administration has drafted a recommendation that the extension be granted to September 15, 2015. Therefore, I recommend that council approve the extension of the leave of absence of Councillor Frederickson to September 15, 2015, with the anticipated return date of September 16, 2015.
All right. Thank you very much, Councillor Bossert. I think, did you mean, just for the record, did you mean to say that you move?
Yes, Your Worship, I move that council recommend the extension.
That council approve the extension. Right. Okay. Madam Secretary, are we clear on the motion? Okay. Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Item 9.2, Councillor Long, Purchasing and Tendering Policy.
Thank you. The town of Drayton Valley currently has a tendering policy which was originally established in 1997. In order to create greater consistency in our purchasing and tendering practices, administration has prepared the attached policy which is intended to establish guidelines and structure. A consistent and transparent approach to the ways in which the town awards contracts for services is in keeping with the goal of the Community Sustainability Plan to ensure transparency and accountability in all decisions made by Town Council. This principle can also be applied to decisions made by Town Administration. The attached policy has been reviewed by Legal Counsel with specific attention given to the document's compliance with the New West Trade Partnership Agreement, Trade Investment and Labour I should have read this first. Trade, Investment and Labour Mobility Agreement and the Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement. Therefore, I move that Council approve Purchasing and Tendering Policy TF0115 as attached.
Thank you very much, Councillor Long. Any discussion on this motion? Councillor Long.
I'm back. This is something I get asked more questions about than almost anything else, is why does the town use this contractor or that contractor or whatever. So I'm very happy to see this now written down in black and white, and I realize it probably was previously too. And I'm hoping perhaps we can get this on the website or somewhere where people can see it, so when those questions come up, it's all there and people understand the process, that it is clear, that it is above board, and everybody knows that they're on a level playing field.
Yeah, I quite agree. It is important. It's one of those essential matters associated with transparency, which of course was talked about a great deal in the last municipal elections. And we need to make it part of what we do every day. So thanks to administration for the work involved in updating this policy. 18 years is probably long enough to go with without an update. You need to keep things current. So with that, any further discussion? All right, all in favor? That is carried. I did say we were lean and efficient today. 9.3, Councillor Wheeler, Community Energy Reduction Plan.
Thank you. The Community Energy Planning Getting to Implementation in Canada initiative, also known as GTI, is seeking 3 communities across Canada to serve as pilots to apply the leading practices for building and maintaining, support leadership and funding to accelerate the implementation of community energy plans. The CEP is a tool that helps define community priorities around energy with a view to improving efficiency, cutting emissions, and driving economic development. It typically includes energy and greenhouse gas inventory, targets, and action plan. The GTI program will be awarded to 3 lucky municipalities across Canada. Through it, it would receive 600 plus hours of free aid, a value of $75,000, to implement the energy reduction plan. In order to apply, we need to have a community energy plan in place and then have funding committed to developing the CEP. Administration has started creating a GHG reduction plan, which is attached, and the town currently has funding through the Sustainability Fund to start this. Moreover, an energy efficiency report was completed in 2012 for the town, which gives a good idea of where we need to focus. There are a number of community energy plans already out there from other municipalities. Banff's example is attached, from which we can seek guidance. The town has a number of things into the 2016 budget they're planning that would help reduce the town's GHG emissions. Reducing energy consumption by 30% in all municipality buildings and reducing total community GHG emissions are both part of our sustainability plan. To meet these goals, the town will be creating an energy and GHG reduction plan. Applying to the GTI program will enable a faster implementation of our community energy plan. Therefore, I move that Council direct administration to create an energy reduction plan over the next 2 months and bring it back to Council for adoption.
Thank you, Councillor Wheeler. Any discussion on this motion? No. Danette, did you wish to speak to this?
Sure. Yeah, I can answer questions. Would you like me to elaborate on this first?
Sure.
Okay. So, the GTI stands for Getting to Implementation. So the Getting to Implementation initiative is a collaborative initiative being spearheaded by the leading community energy experts in Canada. So it's a partnership between the Community Energy Association, QUEST, which stands for Quality Urban Energy Systems of Tomorrow, and Sustainable Prosperity. I've looked into these 3 groups, and I know a number of
I think that's very helpful. Is there any further discussion on the motion or questions of Danette? Councillor Wheeler.
Thank you. I really liked seeing what we have so far for the GHG strategy. It looks good. I think there's lots of ideas already on there, and I know you guys are only like halfway done. In terms of Banff, same thing, their plan is really extensive, but I would be curious to see at some point if you could maybe check in with them and come back if things are working out so far, because they started their plan 10 years ago, so they're kind of in the middle right now. 2020 was their goal to be done, so it'd be neat to see where they're at and if it is working out as they planned, so.
So I'll just comment on that. So across Alberta and Canada, as I said, there's a number of municipalities that have done this. I did try to get a hold of Banff, but couldn't talk to anyone there by today. I did talk to 2 other communities. I talked to Stony Plain and St. Albert, who have done this. They're now in the implementation phase of their community energy plans, or they have different names for them, local action plans, kind of same thing. So they have worked really well. They've been pretty easy. So they hired consultants to do the plans. So it was a bit of a cost. That I got from St. Albert was $60,000 to get all the way to creation of the plan. And there's also funding that can be applied for, so they got some reductions through FCM. And yeah, getting to the actual plan creation process was pretty straightforward. There's an FCM program that provides a lot of guidance for free, so it was just kind of cost, and a lot of work can be done in-house as well to reduce costs. So according to St. Albert, it was pretty easy, and Stony Plain said that it was pretty straightforward as well, and it's really shifted the way their community operates quite a bit. They feel like it had a really positive impact on the community. So yeah, really good things to hear.
Very good. And it helps us live our sustainability plan. So that's also very good. Anything further on this? Councillor Bossert.
Thanks, Danette. I was looking through some of the preliminary information that you've given us, and I'm looking forward to a plan that suits our community, Drayton Valley and area. I see some recommendations about bicycle stalls and whatnot, and I know that for many communities who have 9 or 10 months of summer, bicycle usage is very high, but in a community where we have very short summer, we may need to encourage more use of bicycles. And that's a different idea that we probably haven't seen a whole lot of recently. So I'm looking forward to seeing ideas specifically fitting for our community.
Yes, and the creation of this kind of plan requires public input, so that would absolutely be definitely a component.
Very good. Thank you. If there's nothing further, I'll call a question. All in favor? That is carried. Thanks so much. Yeah, Danette, you may want to stay right where you are. Item 9.4, Councillor Bossert, resolution to join FCM's Partners for Climate Protection Program.
Thank you. Before I begin this, Mr. Mayor, I'll ask Danette what the ICLEI's City for Climate Protection is. I just don't know what that acronym is.
I had the acronym, I think, originally laid out in this, and it somehow got removed, and now I'm not going to remember it.
All right, we'll just carry that on for next time. All right. The Partners for Climate Change Protection Program is a network of Canadian municipal governments that have been committed to reducing greenhouse gases and to acting on climate change. Since the program's inception in 1994, over 250 municipalities have joined PCP, making a public commitment to reduce emissions. PCP membership covers all provinces and territories and accounts for more than 80% of the Canadian population. PCP is the Canadian component of ICLEI's City for Climate Protection Network, which involves more than 1,100 communities worldwide. PCP is a partnership between the Federation of Community a partnership between Federation of Canadian Municipalities, FCM, and ICLEI, and local governments for sustainability. The program empowers municipalities to take action against climate change through a 5-step process. First, creating GIG inventories. Second, setting realistic and achievable GHG reduction targets. Thirdly, developing a local action plan. Fourthly, implementing plans. And fifth, measuring and reporting results. Reducing energy consumption by 30% in all municipal buildings and reducing total community GHG emissions is part of our community sustainability plan. Therefore, we need to create a plan to achieve these milestones. The FCM program will help us work towards those goals, in addition to motivating us to do so quickly. There is no cost to join, and we need a council resolution is attached. Funding is available to help with the implementation of the first 3 steps to be taken within 2 years. This will not be a problem for this community. We are successful in if we are successful in being chosen as a GTI pilot community, we will be able to move towards this goal quickly. There is more information attached for Council's review. And therefore, I move that Council authorize administration to communicate to FCM the Town of Drayton Valley's participation in the PCP program and its commitment to achieve the milestones set in the PCP 5 milestone framework.
And I'll invite Danette to speak to this if you wish.
So, yeah, this is kind of very connected to what I was just talking about. So again, creating the community energy plan. Joining the FCM program, Partners for Climate Protection program, we'd be joining a lot of communities across, so this is where 287 communities across Canada are already a part of this program. There's a number in Alberta, there's a lot in BC, there's a number that are our size that have already been doing this for 5-10 years, so there's a lot of guidance out there in joining this program. So yeah, there's quite significant funding opportunities to help us along with our community energy plan if we join this program. So the funding is 50% of our cost, up to $175,000 per application, and we can apply more than once. So there's quite a bit of funding out there for plans, for pilot projects, and also for capital projects. So that is a huge incentive to join this program. This program would also give us recognition for really acting on climate change through the FCM, along with all these other municipalities. So I think it's a really good opportunity. I think that we have the potential to save money and seek a lot of guidance through this program. There's a lot of support there to help us achieve our energy, our planning goals for free as well through this program. So I think that it's a really, really good thing, and I think that we should join it.
I was picking that up, yeah. There was a vibe you were sending out, yeah. Thank you. So if I've got this straight, there's no cost to join. The potential benefits are access to both financial and other resources to assist us with our own planning. Is there any negative whatsoever? Is there? I can't think of one, but I'll open it up to questions. Any? Chandra?
I don't have a question, just to answer Councillor Brossick's question. Rita had found some information here. So ICLEI stands for International Council for Local Environmental Initiatives. It was established in 1990, and in 2003 it became ICLEI, Local Governments for Sustainability, with a broader mandate.
Oh, very good. Thanks. Anything further on Councillor Bossert's motion? Okay. Call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Councillor Bossert, I believe you have another motion.
I further move that council appoint the Sustainability Committee to oversee the implementation of the PCP milestones and to be the points of contact for the PCP program within the town of Drayton Valley.
Very good. So that's organizationally, it makes it appropriate to have someone in as the point of contact from council. So, any discussion on that motion? All in favor? That is carried too. Thank you, Danette. All right, item 9.5, Councillor Long, extension of subdivision DV 1406.
Thank you. On August 7th, 2014, Council approved the subdivision of the creation of a residential subdivision located within Southwest 16497, west of the 5th Meridian. Said approval expired on August 7th this year, and consequently, the applicants are seeking an extension for an additional year. The applicant is still working to meet all conditions, including registration. Therefore, the applicants are requesting a one-year extension until August 7th, 2016, in order to complete the conditions and register the subdivision. In order for the extension to proceed, Council must approve the request. The extension of the subdivision file DV 1406 is hereby presented to Council for decision. We have a recommendation that as the subdivision conforms to the Municipal Development Plan, administration recommends approving the extension of the subdivision. Therefore, I move that Council approve the one-year extension for subdivision application DV 1406 to August 7th, 2016.
Thank you very much, Councillor Long. Jan Martin, do you have a presentation? Do you have an overhead? Oh, they don't call them that anymore. Do you have a,
Just the standard PowerPoint that I present every council meeting, so it'll just be a sec, I guess, in there. It is also included in the report as well, pretty much the exact same thing.
is that on this
Yes.
item?
Yes.
Okay. You're pretty sure it's coming up? Oh, there. There it isn't. I'll just say feel free to start whenever you're comfortable. If it's particularly helpful to have the graphic up there, then.
Well, as I had mentioned, there we go.
Okay.
It's pretty much what's in the report right now. It just shows the proposed subdivision. The reason for the subdivision was to put a triplex on there in the corner lot of 55th Avenue and 43rd Street. As stated, they have not met all their conditions right now, and they're just hoping to extend it for one more year.
All right, are they, is the applicant, are they having any particular difficulties as far as you're aware, or it's just a matter of time that they?
Just due to
Required.
the economy right now.
Okay. Okay. Any further questions? Comments? No? We have a motion before us. All in favor? That is carried as well. All right. Thank you, Jen. 9.6, Councillor Wheeler, Zombie Run Insurance. You don't see that on every agenda.
Every year for the past 3 years, on or about September 26th, a committee comprised of the Community Services Department, River Valley Players Association, and community volunteers host the Drayton Valley Zombie Run. In hosting the event, 200 to 300 community residents of all ages can participate in a 5-kilometer run for a nominal fee. The Drayton Valley Zombie Run provides a unique event combining culture and physical activity in an outdoor community setting. The following services are planned for this year's event: busing to and from the site, Boston Pizza refreshments, and a photo booth with I Survived the 2015 Zombie Run souvenir. The town's insurer has indicated that activities or events endorsed by town council will be recognized as an insured event, thereby minimizing the need for special event insurance. Administration is therefore recommending that the Zombie Run event be endorsed by town council as an insured activity of the municipality. Therefore, I move that town council endorse the Zombie Run to be covered under the Town of Drayton Valley's general liability insurance.
Thank you, Councillor Wheeler. Any discussion on this motion? Does administration have anything to add to this? Okay. All right. It seems fairly self-evident that it'd be necessary in order to have the event. So, no discussion, all in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Okay, I think just now I'll call a short break, and then when we come back, we'll go through information items and reports. So. Minute break. Information items 10.0, 10.1, Brazeau Seniors Foundation June Board Minutes, 10.2, the July RCMP statistics, 10.3 is the FCM Annual Conference Mayor and Councillor Reports, 10.4 is the Drayton Valley Health Services Foundation Annual Report. Could I get a motion to accept those items as information? Councillor Long, all in favor? That is carried. Thank you. 11.0 Department Reports. 11.1 is Planning and Development. Jen Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So for the last 3 weeks, Planning and Development Department has issued 3 business licenses and 6 development permits, ranging from signage, detached garages, decks, and we have a new single-family dwelling that we have approved, so that brings our housing starts up to 32 for this year so far. Other than that, that's my report.
All right. Short and sweet, eh? Thank you very much. Engineering and Transportation, Ron Fraser.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So Beckett Road is pretty much complete, as I think you would know.
Yes.
43rd Ave has been delayed. I understand it's now to begin in early September. I was surprised to see there was no action, so I phoned up the consultant. Not sure exactly what the reasons are, but they're planning to start beginning of September is the latest. The bus hub, HW Pickup Park, so we received word on, it was around the 18th, 19th of August, and I think it was the 18th of August, we received word that it had been approved, Wild Rose, and so we started on the 19th, so it is underway. They're busy stripping dirt and building up the berms and starting to excavate the pond as we speak. And once they have some more dirt packed, I guess, in the bus hub area, we'll be getting border paving in there to commence the paving work. So,
And just to refresh everyone's memory, the estimated time of completion of the bus hub itself is?
Well, I think it's going to be sometime in September, and to be honest, probably the latter part of September, because we've encountered quite a bit of topsoil, quite a bit of concrete, and it's going to take a bit of time. So,
right. With respect to 43rd, sorry, I'll let you finish, and then I'll
Sure.
ask you a question.
Okay. Well, at 50th Street, its work's mostly complete, still a little bit underway. the CETC, we've been doing a lot of the earthwork on the grounds, building up fill and parking areas and so forth. The airport runway, we completed the asphalt mill and fill, so we fixed the asphalt so it's ready for the Thunder in the Valley. And we also did a little program of longitudinal joint and transverse crack repair there. Sealed them. What else? Murrah Estates, basically, we just continue to work with the developer at Murrah Estates, and I know they've recently completed some asphalt trails there, which look pretty good.
Right.
And that pretty well concludes it. Yeah.
My question regarding the 43rd Avenue extension to the Ring Road, you indicated there was a delay. Do we know? We don't know what the
Sorry,
cause
I
of
don't
delay
know
was?
exactly what the reason was, but just for your knowledge, like we have a fall completion for the, I guess for the common, the dirt work, and we're going to let it settle over the winter, and then complete the paving next year, and that's how we get a better paved product, right? And it's that's common. That was in the contract.
What I would add to that, because I happen to be very much aware of the abuse that the final section of Beckett Road took over the interim period from the time that the packing and everything was done to the time of paving this year. There's an extraordinary amount of abuse with people in four-wheel drives
Yeah.
deciding to drive wherever they please, despite the fact that there are barricades,
Right.
spinning donuts, tearing it all up, and that
Right.
causes so much additional time and expense
Yeah,
in restoring the subsurface to the appropriate.
yeah,
I'm no engineer, but
No,
I know
valid point.
damage when I see it.
yeah,
So what we do need to ensure is that the 43rd Avenue extension has appropriate barricades at every possible
Yeah.
position where people might decide to go joyriding.
yeah. Sounds good, good point. And, you know, I guess maybe that's something we could look at, whether it's, you know, the cost benefit of leaving it over a winter versus, you know, I mean, generally it's better because you allow some settlement to occur
And
But you
I
can't
I
always
certainly
protect
wouldn't
it.
want to presume to know how any of that works.
Yeah.
But, so whatever the appropriate,
Yeah.
most durable approach to road building is, obviously that's,
Sure.
I'll leave that to you and
Yeah.
those who know better. But-
Just from my provincial experience, sometimes we do it either way, depending
Yeah.
upon the
Mhm.
urgency of having it open and
Yeah.
so forth, right?
My concern is just human behavior.
Yeah,
That concludes your report?
that's it, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Council, anyone else have questions for Ron? No? Okay. We will move on. 11.3, Community Services, FCSS, and Sustainability. Annette is not here. Is Mr. Deal, is there somebody to give her a report? Good morning.
I'm Tracy Hill, and I'm the program manager, and I'm stepping in for Annette again this morning. I wanted to tell you that we have Lee Adam Nellis joining us from our department. His title is Recreation and Culture Manager, and his office is going to be at the Omniplex. So we were going to introduce him this morning, but he's busy at the pool because we do have a filter system that we're renovating here, so unfortunately he's not here. So I'm sure that will introduce him at the next
Right.
and I think Nessa is going to introduce one of our other new staff people to you, and I'll let him do that.
Very good. Listen.
I have a few individuals that I would like to introduce this morning. Of course, we mentioned Lee Adam. I'm not sure the last name, how you say it. Nellis? Okay. And as Teresa has indicated, he is currently at the pool, but he has joined us, and under his responsibility is the Omniplex, the fitness center, and culture, and the pool. So Lee Adam will be at the next council meeting. I also have Grant Turner with us here. Grant Turner has joined us as a fitness manager at the Omniplex and Total Works, a health and fitness center. Grant, of course, has a bachelor's degree from the University of Waterloo. He has a certificate in human performance training from Sheridan Polytechnic, and most recently a master's degree in kinesiology, with emphasis on sport conditioning. So welcome to Grant Turner, who is now at the, and perhaps you can tell council more about yourself.
Sure. The mandate that I have is to look after the Total Works facility and then also to help with any sort of fitness and health initiatives that will go on within the town. So my background is mostly to do with youth physical conditioning. So I worked at private high school previously as a strength and conditioning coach and worked with international tennis participants. And it's just one junior level, but we've been working and trying to educate coaches as much as kids coach, and so what their capabilities are and what a proper and healthy sort of first physical training would look like. And the big thing that I want to sort of get across to everybody in town, right, is that they have control over their own health in a lot of different aspects, and that I think everybody should have the opportunity to realize their own potential physically, that way.
Very good. Despite the fact that your specialty is youth, it sounds like there may be hope for me yet. If I can ever get there, I have control over my fitness. I just don't have control over my schedule. So I look forward to seeing you down there, I don't know, someday soon. Thank you very much.
I'll go on with the other introductions. We have with us, of course, Tyler Russell, our communications and marketing coordinator. As everyone will know, Tyler Russell has been in the community, and he has been at Big West Country Radio, and he joins us in the role of community communications and marketing coordinator. So welcome, Tyler.
And he's been hard at work for these past few weeks.
Yeah.
Hardest job he's ever had, he told me. Okay.
Our next individual that joined us some time ago already is Danette Olay. Is that how you say your last name? Okay. Danette is the sustainability coordinator. She was based in BC for a while, in Nelson. She has a master's degree, I guess, right? I don't have all the details, so. And of course, you're certainly aware of all the initiatives that Danette is taking us through, and certainly we don't miss her. Every Monday, she's on the button, sending us our to-do list for the week. And I hope everybody has been following it. And I think the mayor has been conscientiously following some of your advice there. So, Danette, if you want to come forward and say anything about yourself to council.
Hi, yeah, sorry, I didn't know I was introducing myself. So I did the last, or a couple council meetings ago, so I'm not sure who is aware of my background and who isn't. So yeah, from Nelson, but I spent a long time in Calgary as well, not north of Calgary, but I actually spent probably 17 years in Calgary, so a lot of time here in Alberta, and yeah, I've done lots of work in the environmental field, both, well, a lot of it nonprofit and volunteer, and some of it paid. And yeah, I'm very passionate about environmental issues and health, and I believe that part of community sustainability is becoming healthier as individuals and connecting more with each other and becoming kind of a happier, stronger community. And there's many ways we can do that that's where I'm focusing my sustainability challenges, not so much on the environmental side. I'm trying to focus more on what we can do as individuals to help strengthen our community.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much. You two have kind of jumped in the deep end since you joined us, and we appreciate your work. I mean, despite the fact that you were here earlier this morning, we just let you carry on with the work, and we'll do the niceties later, which is kind of where we are now. So thank you again, and we look forward to, I forget the date, but you're making an in-service presentation on the topic of your thesis. September 10th, right? Okay. Looking forward to it. Thanks very much.
The last one, but not the last one in terms of future employees coming in, but last one for today. And also, I think we're going to throw him in the deep end, or he's already been thrown in the deep end, is Eric Burton, who was with the Alberta government, worked in Grand Prairie, worked in Calgary, and now is joining the town of Drayton Valley. And I'll let Eric talk about his experiences. He's an economic development officer, and he carries the EDO title from the University of Waterloo, and of course some other degrees associated with that. So welcome, Eric.
Well, thanks very much, Nesson. I'm really excited to be here today. It's my first council meeting, so it's nice to see it all in action. Last week I had a chance to pick a lot of brains and get a good feel for where the town is, and I'm really excited about it. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and where I'm coming from when I come to the town here. I was born and raised in a small town in Ontario, and took political science at Carleton University in Ottawa. And after graduating, I went back to my hometown to see how I could get involved and contribute. So I started working to develop a youth program, and that led to getting involved in building the Hospital Foundation, sitting on the board of United Way, getting involved in tourism, and then served a term of council in my town. And during that time, one of the most exciting things I was able to do is bootstrap an economic development program. And we did that by building partnerships. So it was not about one person being able to accomplish it all. It was about reaching out and finding all those different partners that shared the outcome of economic development. So that was really the most exciting thing I was able to do during my term. So I went on to join the government of Alberta, where I've been manager of entrepreneurship and regional development, working with municipalities, colleges, chambers of commerce, regional economic development alliances, helping to build strategies among each other, but also in alignment with the province and the federal government. So most recently, I studied management at the University of Alberta and economic development at the University of Waterloo, and got a professional designation from the Economic Developers of Canada. So, and I've been a specialist for the government in economic development based in Calgary. So I'm really excited about drawing on some of the formal training, but even more so on the lessons I've learned from working closely with community leaders to bring as much as I can to the community here in Drayton Valley. And in particular, what draws me to Drayton Valley and makes me excited about it is the forward-looking focus of the community. And I also think that there's never been a better time to invest in bioindustrial development. So the things that you have done to be leaders in that is really exciting for me as an economic developer to join part of the team and see if I can contribute to it. So
All right.
thanks very much.
Thank you, Eric, and welcome once again. We look forward to working with you and the community, and we're excited to have you here as well. The skill sets that you bring are going to be enormously helpful going forward. Thanks.
I've been politely reminded by Madam Secretary that I missed out one, and that's Kevin McMillan, who's our Assistant Director of Corporate Services.
Sitting quietly over there, just watching it. Yeah.
And Kevin comes to us from Carlson Robertson and Sealy, right, where he last worked, and I'll let him tell us a little about himself.
Yes, I spent the prior 4.5 years with Carlson Roberts Healy, public practice there. Before that, I worked in IT. I have a degree in marketing from the University of Regina and a chartered accountant designation, or a chartered professional accountant designation, as they like to call it now. And yeah, I have some experience working with the town budget through my work with Carlson Roberts Healy and just offshoot of Clayton stuff, but I've been getting my hands dirty here the last month and a half, and we're working our way through the budget process, and we'll see how that goes.
Yes, we will. Thank you very much for that ominous introduction. Welcome.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I just want to call Tyler so he doesn't feel left out to say something about himself.
We've got an hour and 20 minutes, so that's probably safe.
Mike hasn't been on the whole time. To people that were out there, so, I'm really happy to be part of this team. I've spoken to each and every one of you at one point or another in the last month that I've been working here, especially the last 2 weeks. It has been, it's been a real privilege to be able to get to know each and every one of you. I really, really, really love this community, and I cannot wait to see where we're gonna go with this. So, as long as you guys are on board, I'm on board, and let's get some great things done. I'm not gonna talk about my schooling because it's not as impressive, so. Yeah, and, do you want me to give my report now, or do you want me to wait? Later, okay.
Yeah.
No reports.
It's coming up.
It is coming up.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys have any questions for me. Most of you guys know me from being on the radio and in a hat and pullover. And, yeah, I'm still getting used to this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, my office is hidden in the top there, so.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, once again, welcome, and thanks for being with us, and we look forward to your work with us and ours with you. Thanks.
That's it for introduction, Mr. Mayor. The rest of my report I will do when my turn is up.
Yeah, okay. All right, then. Protective Services, is Tom here? No, Tom's not here. Okay, we'll go into administration. Legislative Services, Chandra.
Just nobody to introduce, it's just me. But just a reminder that next meeting, being the evening meeting, we are bringing forward 3 bylaws for second and third reading. So those will be the false alarm bylaw, the emergency management bylaw, and the community standards bylaw. So
Very good.
those are available for public review, scrutiny, feedback, questions, comments. We're happy to take them all and would actually look forward to that. So anybody who wants them can access them on our website, come into the town office, or contact me and I can provide copies.
Okay, thank you very much. Eric, is it premature to ask for a report? I'm thinking so, but did you have anything in addition to what you said earlier? I'm not putting you on the spot, but your name comes up in the order.
So I am just getting my feel for things, but we do have 3 things that we're currently underway. That's a community profile, a business survey, and a branding project. So we're going to be having a meeting this afternoon with some consultants to further get up to speed on those things, and I look forward to reporting on them more in depth in the
Very good. Ah, excellent. Any questions? No? No, that's a thumbs up. Thank you. Tyler? Yes.
The couple of points that we do have to make with the communications department, the town app, from when it launched, we've actually had 835 downloads, 620 come from the iTunes store, and we've actually had 215 from the Google Play Store, which is showing that more people are using iPhones, which I don't think is a big surprise to absolutely anybody. Also, we have the new feature that was added July 1st, which was the report problem. So far, right now, we have had 5 report problems. So we'd like to be able to get, obviously, a lot more problems, but we would like to be able to get that feedback and make sure that we are reinforcing people that are going to be able to use it.
Yes.
Next up is the 2016 budget process. We're actually going to be kicking off that consultation section of it on September 1st at the registration night. Also, we're going to be in different events. We will discuss those ones later in specific. Also, I'd like to know if the council is available to be able to be a part of this. I mean, registration night, I know pretty much everybody in the mayor as well is going to be around and be part of it. We'd like to be able to have you at other events just to be able to diversify what feedback that we are getting. So we're going to be wrapping this up about October 15th, so we can crunch numbers and be able to activate that. Also, the public consultation survey that we have is going to be wrapping up this weekend. We have a phone component. We also have an online component. The first part of the raw data will be available September 1st, with a full report available September 10th.
Excellent. Any questions, comment? No? Very good. Thanks so much. All right, now Nesson, again.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a few things to report. The paving at the airport was completed in early August, so that's ready to go. The area we covered was 5 meters by 90 meters. That has been redone and ready for Thunder in the Valley. So I've spoken to Bob Deagle, and they're very happy with it, and the contract has been signed and the deposit has been paid, so everything's ready to go. We will have an answer today for the one other position that's outstanding, and that's the Planning and Development Manager. Hopefully, I'll be able to announce who the candidate is. The offer has gone out. I just want to mention in terms of the business survey that's going on that Eric talked about for the economic development one, we've actually had businesses come in and request that they would like to be contacted. So that's an encouraging sign that businesses are aware of it and they want to have their input. So we're on the right track in terms of asking for that. So that's on the way too. So if you get any requests, you can certainly send them my way and I will pass it on to the consultants. We also met with TELUS, and I think Councillor Wheeler will talk about that. I'll leave it to her to talk about the opportunities there. That was a very encouraging meeting, so she will give you highlights of that and what is going to be coming down the pipeline in terms of our participation in the machine-to-machine, or the Internet of Things as we were told about. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you. Mr. Deal.
Your Worship, I just want to say we are very lucky and happy to engage such a qualified staff in all areas in recreation, economic development, and sustainability. And not only that, Danette really wants to teach. So we will have our own sustainability programs taught at the CETC because she was teaching at Simon Fraser University. So she's going to be our new TED Talks in Drayton. And
yeah, okay.
And Eric is also, looks like he would like to get the economic development programs going at the CETC. So we have our trainers and training institute all ready.
Yeah. So. Trying to extract the very most out of everyone. Yeah. Okay, good.
That's what I'm good at, and that's what I get paid for, right? So my report is, Mr. Mayor, Rick, I'm working with Synergy. Synergy Group, which is the oil companies locally, and CETC and Synergy will have a partnership so that we can serve the community in all their needs in the industry sector, forestry and agriculture. And we're working there. As you know, we had WD has been paying some attention. They were here, and we're working with them. They have been very good, much in favor of CETC, and we'll be looking at see how they can look at some funding in some form in the near future. And I think Ron has mentioned the water plant is just about in the finishing areas. We'll have the furniture and cleanup and everything ready to go probably in a couple of months. Okay, end of September. And I don't know whether Ron mentioned that we did apply for resiliency grant. It's in now for which council approved last council meeting. And also Building Canada Fund grant is in, and we are working on that for the sewer, twinning of the sewer trunk line. So those, that's all underway. And other than that, we had good meetings at Tourism Hospitality Association. They're redesigning the travel center. And I think if you have any input, I'll bring the architect one day to talk to council to see if any thoughts you have. But get ready, time is running out. So, and we are looking at Tourism Authority formation. I'll be bringing it GNP meeting. The solar $40,000 donation has been confirmed. We got the letter now from the people who are going to be donating for solar panels to go on the CETC. And we have been kind of working in partnership with Waste Solutions Edmonton because of that, our grant regarding the CCEMC for CO2 reduction. There was an issue with, there was one time some synergy with Enercam, and but we are looking for other alternatives, including Waste Away, and we have applied for extension till next year. If we get the extension, and they know that it's not an easy solution to really find CO2 reduction from waste products at this time. So that's basically, Mr. Mayor, my report. If there's anybody has any question, I'd like to answer.
Any questions from council? Councillor Bossert.
Thank you, Mr. Deol. When do you expect an answer about the extension for the grant for Waste Away?
They're having a board meeting next week, and we will know either next week or they will ask for more information. So I will keep you updated as I know.
Anything further? All right, council reports. Councillor Bossert.
I'm back. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's been not particularly busy for August, so that's been kind of nice to be able to be in the community just enjoying summer and just grabbing the last few days of good weather. I want to wish my warm welcome to all of our new staff members. It's great to see that we're getting very close to full complement again. I know each of you brings a wealth of strengths and skills and talents to the community, and I think we're very fortunate to have you all on board. So look forward to great things coming forward. August 17th, I had two meetings. The first was with the Healthy Communities Coalition. Things to remark about would be that we are planning a mental health in the workplace workshop, May 7th of 2016. It will be concentrating, of course, on healthy mental health initiatives for service providers in the community. We're looking forward to bringing in some very well-known speakers as keynote speakers, and I think it will be a very well-attended and very informative workshop this March. We also will be, we are working on some mental health community training initiatives centered around the fact that, of course, September 10th is Suicide Prevention and Awareness Day. As we did our proclamation today, we'll be working on different initiatives in the workplace and in the community towards mental health awareness. On the same date, August 17th, I also attended the Drayton Valley Community Foundation meeting. We are having our annual general meeting on November 17th at the Mack Center. It will be a luncheon meeting. All are encouraged to attend. We'll be handing out some of our grant monies at that time. And of course, the big event for the Drayton Valley Community Foundation is coming up September 12th, which is the DV 100 bike race. That the goal is to have approximately 250 brave individuals do the bike race throughout the community, and also raise awareness for the foundation in our community. On August 25th, which was just yesterday, we had the opportunity to visit with our MLA Mark Smith, sharing important initiatives and issues with him concerning our community. Great time to get to know Mr. Smith, as he is new to his role as MLA, talking about ways that we as municipal leaders can work in cooperation with him at the provincial level. We were also able to take Mr. Smith on a visit of the Clean Energy and Technology Center here on the south end of town. I think he was duly impressed by what he saw. As I think all that attended yesterday, things are coming along very nicely at the Clean Energy Center, and I, along with many others, see great number of opportunities for that center in the realms of education and partnerships. And so I look forward to the grand opening of that facility coming up this fall. And I think that's all I have to report on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Long.
Thank you. As Mr. Dales mentioned, we had a visit from a group from Western Diversification. I was able to join them, particularly for a brief tour of the new water treatment plant. And having toured the old water treatment plant last summer, the difference is palpable. It's a great-looking facility. I'm guessing that the rest of council, all of us, will get a full tour when it's up and running properly. But it's looking great. I'm quite enthusiastic. Following last week's GNP meeting, we had an economic development meeting. Welcome, Eric. He's already said what we did, so I will add nothing else. But it's great to have you here, and thanks to Nesson, who has been sort of watching over Councillor Nadeau and myself for the last few months while we've struggled to keep things moving forward there. So good to have somebody in place, and I think we got some things on the go that look promising. The following day, the Legacy Committee, which is myself and Councillor Schurer and Councillor Nadeau, had a meeting. We have coming up on September 10th at 7 p.m. at the Curling Rink Lounge, a public meeting to sort of officially launch the project. The project has a number of aspects, but what we're looking at the moment is an attempt to identify, I guess, some of the longer-term residents in our community and those who have stories to tell about the early days of Drayton Valley. The idea is to tie this in with the town's 60th anniversary, which is in February 2017. But obviously, anybody who has stories or thoughts about things from back then or from earlier, we would like to hear from them. We're hoping to link up with the Historical Society, Genealogy Society, maybe the Legion, groups like that. And the thought is that we will identify these people, we will find their stories, and we will record them, either audio or video or both. Something that we want to get done to mark the 60th anniversary, and because it's worth doing. I think it's too easy to turn our backs on the history of the community and how we got to where we are today. Nice to get those, well, those people are still around to share their recollections. And otherwise I met, as Councillor Bossert said, with the new MLA, Mark Smith. Always a pleasure. And and the TV 100, we do have a team in this year again. Councillor Wheeler, myself, and I forget who the other guy is, but I'm sure he's been practicing too. And we are quietly confident.
Well, why don't you tell them our name? The name of the team suggests the process that it took to arrive at the name.
I will do that. I was told that I could choose the name. I chose the name, and there was a lack of consensus.
That's the name.
So our name is now Lack of Consensus, which says more
Speaks
perhaps than we wanted
volumes,
to.
Yeah. So wait for it on the 12th, right? Okay, thank you very much. You said enough. Councillor Wheeler.
Thank you. This month hasn't been too busy, which has been nice. It's been a good summer to enjoy. We've had lots of sustainability talks, which a lot of the information came forward this morning. And then same with TELUS. I'm on the Internet of Things Committee along with Nessun. And TELUS has come forward and presented to us that they want to do a presentation on how they're connecting with communities and what they're enabling by the Internet of Things, working through building future-ready infrastructure, simplifying citizen engagement, and driving efficiencies. So they've invited us to present as one of their connecting communities. So Nessun and I will be going on September 15th to Edmonton to the TELUS Innovation Center to present. So, yeah. And then we do have the DV 100 coming up, which I was going to mention. I know there are other town teams going in, which I think is exciting, and we should have some kind of an inter-challenge. Yes, yes. And then we do have, I was bringing up the poster here, is the Communities in Bloom. Is this Thursday, right? This Thursday? Yes. On the 27th. So they are doing a outdoor movie reinvented, so it's indoors, but they have the big movie screen. You get to bring your lawn chairs, blankets, strollers, hang out. They do have free hot dogs, popcorn, live entertainment going on at 6 o'clock, and then at 7 they actually start the movie. So, and it is the old Kevin Bacon movie playing, in case anyone's wondering. Yeah, Footloose, in case anyone doesn't know. If you say the Kevin Bacon movie, they should all know. And other than that, we do have Town Registration Night coming up on September 1st, which again, I think everyone's aware of, but we will be there talking with people and getting their feedback. So if you see us, please stop by. We'll be in our lovely green shirts. And that's about it.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That DV 100, we may be setting expectations a tad high just by mentioning it, our involvement. But I really look forward to it nonetheless. My report will be brief. August 8th, I was honored and humbled, I should say, to have the privilege of speaking to the Ahmadiyya Muslim Conference that occurred that weekend here in Drayton Valley. It is, as I understand, the third time that conference has been held here, and approximately 1,500 participants from across Western Canada. So not only is it a feather in our cap to host such a large gathering, but I was deeply moved, I should say, after my remarks to have been just greeted with such grace and dignity and respect, not simply for me, but for our town. The participants of the conference were just enormously grateful to have their conference in our community once again. So I pass that along to the rest of the community, and we should feel proud that they are comfortable having their conference here. August 11th, as Mr. Deal alluded to, we had a meeting with the Assistant Deputy Minister, Jim Saunderson of Western Diversification, to talk about matters associated with funding future stages of the Clean Energy Technology Center. August 15th, I had the privilege of speaking at the In Memorial Veterans display at the, it was appropriately a partnership between the Historical Society and the Legion, and the event was held at the museum, primarily in the church and in the general store. Tremendous memorabilia and display of military involvement from residents of this area in years gone by. And it's always an honor for me to participate in things associated with recognition of our veterans. August 17th, we had a lunch meeting with Steve Price, who's the head of Alberta Innovates, once again to discuss matters associated with the future of the Clean Energy Technology Center. Very optimistic meeting. Mr. Price had some excellent suggestions for us, and we look forward to pursuing those opportunities. August 19th, of course, Governance and Priorities meeting. August 21st, I wasn't able to stay for the entire event, but I was there for a bit of the Fire Kids Camp graduation, which is growing every year in participation and enthusiasm. The members of the fire service are to be thanked for their volunteering their time to provide instruction and just connection with the young people in our community who participate in that program. It's very well received by the kids and by the parents alike. Also had a Clean Energy Technology Committee meeting that afternoon. And of course, as was alluded to, meeting with our MLA and tour of the Clean Energy Center yesterday. I think it was a very effective meeting to introduce some issues of concern to the town of Drayton Valley. As he begins his time in the legislature in earnest really this fall. There was, of course, a short session in June, but when things get going again in the fall, it'll be a much longer session, and he will, of course, be better briefed as he continues to drink from the fire hose. That concludes my report, and with that, sorry, Councillor Bossert.
I think before we have an adjournment, council and staff would like to wish you and your wife a happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. And was that also a motion to adjourn? Okay, all in favor? Thank you.